Hi everyone, Oli here, and welcome to my review of Mission to the Unknown, the second story of season 3 of Classic Who, and the 19th story overall, not starring William Hartnell as the first Doctor, as he, Vicky, and Steven sit this one out. It's only a part long, and it's written by Terry Nation. This is Verity Lambert's last story as the producer slash showrunner. Well, she had pretty much been on Doctor Who since The Unearthly Child, so she did have a long tenure, and she was replaced by John Wiles, who takes over in the next story, The Mythmakers, and lasts up until the Ark, I think. Yeah, the Ark. Pardon me. Submission to the Unknown is also the fifth overall missing story of Doctor Who. Lewis kinda made a reconstruction of it, and I think Ian Levine has animated it himself. I don't think it's available online anywhere, but I've seen pictures on IMDb somewhere. So the University of Central Lancashire recreated this story with the help of Peter Purvis, who played Stephen, as we all know, Edward D'Souza, who played Mark Corey in the original broadcast, and Nicholas Briggs, who voices the Daleks and other villains and monsters in the new series. The recreation premiered on YouTube, on the Doctor Who YouTube channel in October the 9th. As I'm making this video just pretty much 3 months ago, in 54 years, pretty much after its premiere, 54 years after its premiere, they premiered it live on YouTube, so I was able to watch that live. No Red Slaps exists, nothing really exists apart from the audio, and except for a few promotional shots as well. So the plot of the story is that on the planet Campbell, Space Security Service agent Mark Corey is investigating a recent sighting of a Dalek spaceship. His suspicion is that the creatures may have established a base and proves well-founded. He learns of a plot by the Daleks to invade and destroy the solar system, but he is discovered and exterminated. The Daleks and their allies vow to conquer the universe, beginning with the planet Earth. So, I got this from TARDIS Wiki, and this is pretty much just a summary of the story. So Mission to the Unknown, in my opinion, is actually it's a good story. Not a whole lot to judge on, but it's not really much to judge on, but it's still something to watch. It's still enjoyable. But this story pretty much introduces the Daleks Master Plan, which is the 12-parter, and that's coming up in 2 stories time. And this was it goes a very good build up to it, and the recreation was pretty much the best thing one of the best things I've ever seen. But I'll get to more of the recreation later. So I'm pretty much talking about the story and the reconstruction. The story and the recreation were created by the University of Central Lancashire. So even though nothing exists except the audio and promotional images, the sets were beautifully done. Even though the loose cannon, you can definitely see that. I'm not really sure if you can judge the loose cannon, but pictures do exist. But the planet Campbell, but the promotional images that do exist of the planet Campbell, especially from the surviving bits of Dalek's master plan, I think that's where they got that from. It's very nice. It definitely captures the whole atmospheric jungle, scary jungle setting. That's something Classic Who does very well, as I mentioned way before. It was beautifully done, and the recreation actually captured it perfectly, and that's what I really liked. The costuming was awesome, especially the aliens that appeared alongside the Daleks towards the end of, pretty much towards the middle of the story. And it was even though we don't know their names, but it was a very nice. I like the costuming. I think they definitely took some time to make the costumes and make it look beautiful. I also like the ending when Mark Corey was killed by the Daleks and he left the videotape. And he was recording. No, he was telling on the recording. He was saying what the Daleks were gonna do. The Dalek eventually caught him and eventually killed him. And the Daleks don't notice the tape until the Doctor finds it in the early parts of Dalek's master plan, and that's how he finds out of what's gonna happen. The Daleks in this story are quite menacing, and the way they killed Mark Corey was actually quite scary. Also scary was the Vulgar plant, and whoever came to contact with it would be subject to some body horror, and that's I do wish this episode existed because I'd like to see like how they became the how they fall prey to the vulgar plants. Even though the recreation does show this, and that was quite scary as well. The acting in the story was very good in both the original and the recreation. And in the recreation, Mark Simeone, he was definitely the right choice to play Mark Corey, and I remember watching and he was very good. I think he's a very talented young man. I hope he does get some recognition somewhere. And he was actually chosen because looked like Edward D'Souza when he was younger, and I think they mentioned it on the behind the scenes video which Josh Snares made. I think it's on his YouTube channel. I'm not really quite sure. I can't remember. I need to double check. Now so more on the recreation. The production was absolutely brilliant. When I watched it live on YouTube back in October, I wasn't expecting it to be black and white, even though we did see pictures of it like months before the broadcast. It was in color, and then when they premiered it, it was in black and white. I was pleasantly surprised. It's still on YouTube if you want to like check it out. I think it should still be there, but I recommend that you watch it because they really took the time and effort to do it, and it was really good, and it was brilliant. The one problem I do have with the story is pretty much the first few minutes kind of drag, and it did get a bit boring, especially like the first 5-10 minutes of the story. Wasn't really Nothing was really happening, and until one of the guys, I think his name was Gordon Lowry, I think. No. Yeah, I think it was Gordon Lowry. I think he got into contact with the Vagabonds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they think they showed that in the recreation, and that was very good. But the placement of this story is actually quite odd. It's between Galaxy 4 and the Mythmakers, so it was a bit. So pretty much after Galaxy 4, it was just pretty much a cutaway for the first story, and it pretty much introduces the Daleks' master plan, and then after that is Mythmakers. But if this story actually aired after the Mythmakers, it would have probably been a lot more understandable. So we don't have to be like waiting for at least another 5 weeks to see what was going on. But the story is still enjoyable in my opinion, despite the bits that drag. I give the story a 6.5 out of 10. And still, I recommend you watch it. It's a very good recreation. I recommend that you give it a watch. So my next review is The Mythmakers, the first story to be produced by new showrunner John Rawls and Vicky's Finals Journey in the TARDIS. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching my review. Please tell me what you thought of Please tell me what you thought of Mission to the Unknown, what you thought about the recreation, and what I could do better, what you liked about this review. So tell me what you thought and comment below, and I'll see you guys later.